There's the go, Butcher's Block here, and today, it's not a picking video, it is a bit more of a deep dive on process of pick making. So, last pick video I showed my new picks and went through a little bit of the my process. Had a couple more little questions, so I thought I would just go into depth in pretty much everything. Alright, so I'll zoom out and you can see the chaos. So, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, so I might sound a bit nasally. Okay, so, we'll go first with the wood. So, in the previous ones, videos, I have been calling this one Tasmanian Oak, and Pocket Woman let me know that it is probably not. Now, because I thought oak was a darker wood, but so the reason I was calling it that because I got this from the Bunnings and it's got Tasmanian Oak or Tas Oak. Is this mislabeled? What's this wood? Is this oak or not? Anyway, so where I get most of my hardwoods from is we'll reclaim it from some windows we rip out, old timber windows. So this is a bit of a jam, and it's got lovely. So this is Jarrah, and this is Jarrah also, but it's got this lovely, light spot going through it, which gets that sort of effect. And then, so this bit was a mullion. It's got a little bit there. So these ones here, and that's what the darker ones come from. Or so again, bit of mullion. Bit of a sash that was ripped apart. Some beads, just from Bunnings, and then they get ripped down into thinner bits. And this one here, so this bit was a piece about this, and so I ripped it in half and then cut it down the length, and then just marked, which two are going to go together, and then because just which bits had a nicer grain, and pen them up. So one of the tools that has helped cut a lot of time and make the final pick look better and quicker to make is this tiny little plane here. So this was a ripped bit, and then I just use this tiny little plane, get it flat, and that's what I tape it together. Bit of blue masking tape, and then just a drop of super glue, and then I can just rough out the sort of shape and where the pin's going to go. So then at that point, so cut out the pin, or rough cut it. So I generally use a 3.3mm drill bit, for this one I do 2 holes, and then I get my little file, and I just then file it out, just a little bit at a time. And then so this one, so I've stuck it together, and then just got my China graph just going on the outside. So this here I've just rough cutted it, and then 3.3mm drill bit. And so with this one I use the I don't know where it is. I use the square little nail file. So these are just the cheapest nail files you can get, and just, yeah, slowly. So next thing is, oh yeah, sorry, okay. So with this little, so again, this is the cheap little, I guess a trim plane or something. So this is really helpful for taking out a lot of excess material, so you don't have to sand as much. So I'll put it in my vise, and I'll get a rough shape to it. I started doing this after I stuffed up a few using the saw and just going to taking too much off, or accidentally, you know, going over the line, and it's completely scrapped. But this, it is a little, takes a little bit more time, but I find that it gives you a lot more control. A bit slower, but yeah. Okay. So I've mentioned the little files, so I'll just, so with the steel, so I do find you need good files. So these are just the smaller version, that they tend to be a bit finer. They're not the full, you know, 30cm ones, and these work lovely. I do not use a grinder, a bench grinder at all when using you know, rough cutting the steel. You don't want to heat up your steel as much as possible. You can change the properties of it. You can make it weaker, and it can lose strength. So you want to keep it as cool as possible. So that's why I use file completely. It never gets touched by a bench grinder. Okay, so I've had many people, sorry about my squeaky chair, many people ask about the pin stock. Okay, so this is the, well, yeah, this stuff, and it is from K&S. It's yeah, from America, but I just find it in my local hobby shop, like the there, you know, sells the remote control petrol cars and model aeroplanes and model boats and all that. Well, mine has a huge selection of different sections. So this is the hexagon stock, and then little square pins, and then bigger square, and the brass strip. So I'll go into a little bit more detail when I show you the next steps of that. But so the evolution of the brass in the middle. Okay, so this was the first one that I thought, hey, let's put some brass in there, just to even the thickness of the steel, so it would glue evenly. So this is 25 thousandths. So I first started just doing a solid piece on the half tangs, and I thought it'll look better going all the way along the top. So the next one sorry, the next one I did was, where is it? I just did a longer, thinner piece, but just on the top. And I thought it looked better top and bottom. So this one here is the reason that I started working away from that, because it was very hard to get it to go exactly where I wanted it. Like I'd clamp it down and it'd slightly move. And that's when I went to the one solid piece. So that is the brass stock. Okay, so I did show this last time, but I did do a couple extra steps. So one thing I didn't explain was this bit here. So the Sparrows, well, most of the steel you get, I've tried drilling into some from Peterson, Sparrows and Southord. It's very hard to drill. So I drill one hole and then I just file out the rest. So that is the pick, and then this is, so last time you saw this, it was one solid piece of brass. So it is a pretty good fit. It's just bending up a little bit because it's thin on the end, but get it as good fit as I can so it won't wiggle around, and when I clamp it, it'll go exactly where I want it to go. One other thing I'll mention about the brass is you want to get the brass as pretty well as close as possible before you glue it. So if you leave a bit of a flange on the outside and you got to file it after, I had one that I did that, and because the brass conducts heat so well, even with filing, it heats up super fast, and that one started to delaminate a bit, and I reckon it's because of the heat I put into it. Okay, so yeah, so how I glue it is I'll just glue. So I just use a 2-part epoxy. I've been looking for an epoxy that isn't 5 minutes, so it's got a bit more working time, but you can't get the smaller tubes of it. You can only get the big industrial, big bottle of part A and big bottle of part B. So I'll have this down, mix my stuff up, have everything ready. Slather on a bit. I do give this a bit of a sand before, just so it adheres a bit nicer. Slop that down, put this in, make sure it's lined up, and then I'll get my pin. I don't think this is the pin for this one, but it might be. And then get my other piece, and then put down, clamp it together. I clamp mine in the vise, so I will cut this before I glue it to just a little bit over, so it just protrudes a little bit. And I put it in the vise, and I'll just put a clamp here, and then that is the next step in that one. So, well, that's the wrong way around, but that should be a nice looking pick. So this is pretty well the shape that I want this. So I've probably taken about 90% of the material off that I want. So So I just need to thin down this side a little bit because it's a little bit uneven with playing it down. Okay, what else was there? Okay, well, since last time I showed you some of their really nice picks that I done, I'll show you a few that I stuffed up majorly. Okay, so this one here, this one's a half tang, nice wood. Again, I don't know what this wood is. Anyone knows, please let me know. So this one, the pin placement is slightly off, and I thought, you know, where I've cut in at the end of the tag, put a bit of brass just to sort of terminate it, but I reckon it doesn't look very good. And I've gone in a bit too close. You can start to see the steel. So yeah, that one's a little bit rubbish, not too bad. Now this one is proper. This is just ugly. So way off with the pin, and the brass. It had brass top and bottom, but I didn't cut it out very well, and it just ended up, yeah, just crap. So that all came away from the bottom and mostly the top. And this little bit here is probably meant to finish, you know, another 3 to 4 mil that way. So yeah, that one I'm really not happy with. Okay, next one. This one looks pretty nice. So however, just the pins aren't lined up very well. Not bad. This was I was sort of experimenting with the shape to see if you could make it so it'd be good for sort of normal pickers and European. I still sort of like this one, but so it's not that bad. This one, not too bad. Just I put the pin way too close. So, but yeah, I still sort of like this one. It's just a nice, simple looking pick. So this one here, way too long and way too short. Just the proportions are all wrong. So I could probably fix it by chopping it down a bit, but yeah, this was another trying to get a handle so it would be comfortable for picking both down and up. And this is another 15 thousandths. So yeah, all the 15 thousandths that I got from Peterson. So this is probably the best one that like the finish. I ended up like denting it or accidentally like knocking it, and it just put a bend in it. You can't get it out. So this one, so I probably made this a little too short. So this is like the sort of the lunatic sort of profile, just a crazy deep hook. Yeah, so the shank probably be another 5, even 10 mil longer, and I went way too skinny where the wood ends. So this is already starting to delaminate because it's just and it's not even. So I think that this one is savable. Just gonna have to take it apart, and well, I guess it's not because that hole's gonna be no, it's still savable. It's still in nice unbent condition. Oh, sorry guys, I just realised I missed one of my stuffed up picks out.
So this one is the aged Jarrah. So I didn't get the front pin placement done very well, and I don't think it looks very good with just 2 pins. I really like the you know, the general shape and the finish of this aged Jarrah. It just looks so dark and beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Just unfortunately, yeah, it looks rubbish. So yeah, this one I used the small square pins. It's not finish sanded or anything like that. So yeah, I've been trying to think of a way to salvage this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think this one is a pull it apart and put some new scales on or something. Yeah, okay. Back to what I was just saying. Yeah. So I think that is pretty much all. So the one thing I am doing different now is I'm getting this completely mirror polished before it gets glued in. Before I would just not at all, and then like polish it on when it's in this state, and then I'd always have a hard time sanding and filing close to where this meets. Then I tried just sanding and polishing that area, which what's the point in half doing it? So I decided it's probably best to polish it up and then protect it. Did I show this one? So this one's just the pin placement's just horribly wrong. So let me get a good one. So good pin placement, bad pin placement. I've been trying to think of ways to salvage this one. So yeah, and I haven't come up with anything as yet. So where was my other crappy one? So this one I have a little interesting idea. I might be able to fix it. That's I'm still testing that at the moment. So I'll show you guys when I finish that. Yeah, this one's just rubbish. Unfortunately, I might just have to put new scales on it. Yeah. So I think that is pretty much all questions answered. Yeah. If there's anything else that I've missed or you want more information on, just leave a comment below or shoot us an email. So yeah, guys, that is all for tonight. So until next time, stay well, stay safe, stay sane. Hooroo.